Hola, bienvenidos otra vez al podcast de Sens donde conocemos a distintos alumnos de la universidad. Hoy estaremos entrevistando a otro alumno de la Facultad de Ingeniería y Tecnología. Esta entrevista va a ser en inglés para facilitarle la entrevista a nuestro candidato. Bueno, como saben, mi nombre es Saulo Bosques y hoy voy a estar entrevistando a...
Yo soy Mathew Herrera.
Okay, so Mathew, let's get straight into it. Coming from, well, first you already told us your name. How old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18. Where do you come from and what do you study?
I'm from Houston, Texas, in the United States, and I came here to study systems engineering.
All right. And then the question is a follow-up on that. Why Montemorelos University? Why not, I don't know, stay in the States, or I don't know, go abroad even further?
Well, when it comes to the University of Montemorelos, both of my parents studied here already, and for a lot of the time while I was studying in high school and middle school, they would tell me about the kind of college that this was. And of course, like, this college has changed a lot since they have studied, and it's a really cool change to see. But they have already brought me a few times here for some different camps and stuff like that. Like, there was one I came for a music camp, and I came for a tech camp or something like that. And I came and I really enjoyed the kind of university that this was. And considering that both of my parents studied here, they're people that I really look up to. And so coming here feels like, and it just felt like the right thing to come to this university.
That's interesting. So we kind of share that in common. My parents also studied here, and I actually grew up here from 0 to 6 years old, and then I moved to the States. But yeah, you know, I kind of identify with that. How, like, my parents really talked up the university. They really expressed themselves really positively on the environment and everything. Plus, I had like family here still, so it's great to come back to that. What being from the States, or I don't know, being here for a bit, or coming visiting, do you have any favorite foods? It doesn't have to be, you know, Mexican. It can be
just in general.
Yeah, like a favorite dish, something that you could like eat every day.
Oh, well, all right. In the States, I think it's really cool that there's a lot of diversity in food. So, like, there's no lack in food that you can choose from. But if I had to choose a specific dish, I really enjoy lasagna. Like, lasagna is just really good. But if I had to choose like a genre of food, You can't go wrong with Chinese. But for a specific dish, yeah, I definitely have to be lasagna. It's
lasagna.
Really,
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Coming from the States, it's kind of hard in this little town to find like any diversity.
Exactly.
There's maybe like one sushi place and like another Chinese place, but other than that, it's just, you know, your traditional tacos, tortas, quesadillas, you know, sort of like the Mexican cuisine, and everything is either deep fried or it comes with a side of beans and rice. Going from that, on your free time or anything like that, or even before coming here, is there a favorite movie or TV series or a favorite book that you have?
Well, I was never really into watching movies or TV series. Like, it was never my thing. But I do remember in second year of high school, one of my friends recommended me The Office, and I started watching it. At first, it was kind of slow. But once I started getting into it, The Office was definitely one of the shows that I really started getting into after a while.
Yeah, that's actually, I think it happened to me the same way with The Office. I wasn't really much of a TV series type of thing. I actually was more or less a gamer.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always been a gamer, but yeah, I think it wasn't until like junior year of high school where I discovered How I Met Your Mother, The Office. My cousin made me watch Friends. Just because she said, you know,
shows like that, like How I Met Your Mother and Friends, my mom would watch those shows a lot. There was a point pretty recently where me, my sister, and my mom pretty much just binge watched Friends since it was on Netflix, and it was definitely one. It's a really good show. I got to give it to them.
Yeah, you know, yeah, they're good shows. Going from there, could you describe to us like your perfect day? You know, what does it involve? What do you eat? Who do you spend it with? What do you do?
It would definitely have to be with my family, with my mom, my dad, and my sister. Usually, when I was in the States, we're pretty much always together due to the fact that we're always doing something. My dad is usually pretty busy because he has a lot of responsibilities that he has in church and he has in work and stuff like that. But when we all make our separate times to just kind of get together as a family, that's usually one of the better days for sure. Just us four together at the house, just relax.
Yeah, that's nice. Really quickly, sort of off topic. What do your parents do for work? I get the feeling that maybe your dad is sort of involved in the church, or I don't know. What is it that you?
Yeah, well, my dad is involved. He's actually the first elder of my church, so he's usually has a lot of responsibility at church. But when it comes to career, when it comes to work, my dad works at a sort of clinic, a sort of mental or brain clinic, where what he does is he analyzes data and he assigns projects to different people through different research that they have to do when it comes to brain conditions, brain disease, or any sort of research that relates to the mind and stuff like that. And my mom, she currently works as a preschool teacher in a school that's really close to my house.
That's cool. Going on, I believe the next question would be, if you had what's one of your biggest fears in life? You know, it's kind of hard to think about that, you know, it's a heavy subject, but just a little glimpse into what that would entail.
No, yeah, for sure. My biggest fear is definitely not being able to fulfill my career, as in whether it's not graduating in my career or whether it's not being able to find a steady job like that, due to the fact that being the firstborn of my family and the oldest of my the little cousins group of my dad's generation, being the oldest, there's a lot of expectation on me being over here and studying and stuff like that. So not being able to fulfill those expectations is definitely one of those biggest fears.
That's interesting. I couldn't relate to that. I'm sort of the smallest. I think I am the smallest of the cousin group, with everyone else already being graduated and married, having kids, stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely is a I don't know, something that is really a fear of mine as well, is not being done and then well, I'm done, but now what? Yeah. There's no jobs, or I don't know, I don't qualify for these things. It's something that, you know, I think most of us have in common, regardless of the career we choose. Going back to food stuff, have you gotten the chance to go out and go eat outside of the university campus? Or
yeah, I've gone to a few places, and one of the more common places are the little stands that they have right outside of the university. Right. We'll go out there a few times. But there was this one spot, my cousin took me out a few weeks ago. He took me to this taco stand that's pretty nearby, and I gotta say, they make some really good ones right there. Yeah.
Would you happen to remember the name of this place? Or
it didn't really have a name. It was just a little stop. It was a little stand that just sold tacos. I can't really remember the name.
Yeah, that's pretty common to find, just roadside tacos here. So, but would you say that that's your favorite restaurant up to this point, or little food stand around Montemorelos?
Yeah, for sure. They definitely made some really good ones.
Cool. So going back to, you know, sort of things that happen after college, what are your plans? You know, maybe not necessarily, you know, after graduating, but here right now, let's say, I don't know, schoolwork and all that wasn't really an issue. You know, you could cruise on through. What other plans do you have? At least for me, when a lot of my family and friends, you know, oh, he's going to Montemorelos, oh, you know, you better come back married, or you better do this or do that, or, you know, get involved in ministries. Do you have any of those plans, or even after, where do you plan to work?
Oh yeah, for sure. Here in the university, one of the biggest things that I wanted to take advantage of although I'm not studying music, I did want to get into the music programs because I've heard really great things about the music programs here in Montemorelos, and it definitely shows. Like, I went into the choir, coming out of a private high school choir. It wasn't really that, I guess you could say, grand, but going into the choir here, it's a dramatic change on the quality of music that's sung and like the way the choir sings. It's just amazing to hear, and I want to take advantage of that, and I also want to take advantage of the teachers here, the music teachers here as well, because I wanted to start playing an instrument, like playing the piano and stuff like that. Those are one of the biggest ones. But aside from learning music, also what I wanted to do here, something really important, is being able to have those connections, or being able to make connections here that could potentially help me later on, or just making those kind of friends here that will, stick throughout if you ever need somebody and stuff like that,
Yeah, that's pretty important. I've actually I've witnessed that. There's times where my sister's friends like go over to the States or whatever, exactly. And it's always like, hey, you don't need a hotel room. You have a place here. Like, hey, let's all go hang out, or I don't know, have a little mini unofficial reunion, stuff like that. And it is true, the friends you make in college are, in a sense, supposed to like last. Yeah. So that's really interesting. That you want to have more relationships and make connections. It's pretty good networking strategy. And then closing up is the last one. Do you have any particular hobbies or anything that you like to do on the small amount of free time that we have?
Well, I mean, usually I really enjoy playing sports, and the competition here is definitely really good in any area of sports that you play in. I really enjoy playing basketball, but basketball is definitely one of my favorite hobbies, but usually the gym isn't always open. So stuff that I like to do besides that, they have a ping pong table at the dorms. So me and my roommates will go up to the third floor, we'll get the ping pong stuff, and we'll just keep on playing ping pong, because that's definitely one of the most entertaining things that I found here at the university. And the people here are really good too, so like it's not like you just kind of play just to play, like the competition gets on too.
And then sports, like you're taking full advantage of what the university has to offer.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, like there are like rec teams and rec leagues. Are you part of like any team that plays on Saturday nights or Sundays or?
Yeah, this year the high school team invited me to play with them, so I decided, yeah, sure, why not? So I'm starting to play with the high school team in the basketball league.
All right, so that's interesting. So that pretty much wraps up our little mini interview, this podcast. Is there any closing statements, anything you'd like to add? I don't know.
I'm glad to be here. If y'all see me, I will, in exchange for some Spanish lessons, I'll give English lessons to any of y'all interested. I don't know. I'm just trying to learn here.
Yeah, that's always a very huge plus, not only for us, but also for our friends and people around us. I'm always encouraging classmates and friends, hey, you should pick up English, you should learn it. Sure. There's many great opportunities over in the States. Other than that, one question comes to mind, and I'm pretty sure it's a very short origin story, but I've heard classmates of yours call you Math. Where does that come from?
No, all right. Well, when I was in the first grade or second grade, I've always enjoyed mathematics. Even when I was in elementary school and middle school, I really did enjoy mathematics. And in first grade, there was a joke that came in, of course, because my name is spelled Mathew, but the first portion of my name sounds like math. And so a little joke came on that the reason I'm so good at mathematics is because it's in my name.
Right.
And I guess, so years pass, and I guess I come here, and I guess one of the classmates decides to make the connection. They say, oh wow, mathematics sounds a lot like, math sounds like your name. And then that's when the whole class just started picking up on it, and now it's just, I guess this is gonna be my I don't know, I guess it's just me now.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it is a nickname that started couple of years back and somehow found its way back, and here you are again.
Yeah, I never, honestly, after getting through elementary school, I didn't think I'd be hearing it again, but here I am.
Right.
Crazy how it works.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for the interview. Gracias por ver el video. De nuevo, las ligas van a estar o en la descripción o en las mismas páginas de Facebook y de YouTube. Las ligas son iguales. Somos Sens y estamos haciendo entrevistas para conocer más al estudiantado. Muchas gracias.